This is a 2005 Squier Telecaster. It's made in Indonesia. It's got rosewood fingerboard, and I'm not sure what kind of wood this is. Maple neck. And I think this is a really, really nice guitar. So I picked this one up for about $110 used, and so far it's been great. I've ran into a few of these, and at least on one occasion the neck was not fastened to the body correctly, and it had like a weird protrusion here on the body. So something to look out for when you get one of these is to look down the neck and make sure that the strings and the neck are straight. Other than that, I think I have like 3 of these, and I'm happy with all of them. Pretty nice pickups. This is 100% stock. This is the newer style bridge, so if you're thinking about putting the vintage style on here, that it's not a direct fit. You have to do a little bit of, I should say a lot of finagling to get the vintage style to go on here. So if you're planning on swapping, it's not going to work. At least I haven't found a direct replacement on the market that has the 2 screws here, and this one has 1, 2, 3 screws, and the traditional one has the 4 screws coming down like that. So not a direct swap. The tuners, the standard tuners are perfect. They're good. I've had this guitar for a few months, and no problems at all with the tuners. No reason to change them out. The fretwork is very nice. The only thing is that I believe most of these will have the nut that's too high, so you will need to go in there and file them down a little bit, get them down a little bit so that the guitar will play better. You will probably need to intonate it, and you will probably need to just basically give it a setup, which is true of any guitar, I think. It seems like no matter how much you pay, you always have to do something to it to make it play the way you want it, and that only makes sense. So why is this guitar so cheap? Well, for one, it's made in Indonesia. Number 2, this body is in like at least 4 or 5 pieces, but they're joined so well that it's almost impossible to tell where the line is. So if you care about having a one-piece body, then this is probably not the guitar for you. But I really don't care, and in fact, I believe it makes the body stronger to have it in several pieces like that, or at least more resilient. The one thing that I love about this guitar is this neck. Man, it feels fantastic, and it's got a nice piece of rosewood on top, and then just the finish that they put on there is so light that I don't know if they do that to save money or not, but it winds up being just perfect, because it just feels fantastic. Some of the Chinese ones have a really thick layer of polyester or poly whatever that is, and it gets sticky, and it just doesn't feel right in the hand. This one, man, it just feels awesome, and the more you play it, the more this neck will become just beautiful, with your body oils going in there. Again, these pickups, no reason to change them out. They're great, and I think those are Alnico. So yeah, for $110, $120, this is a fantastic guitar. Even without the price consideration, it's still a great guitar. So I'm gonna take it apart and show you what's in there, just to get an idea of what you're getting for that. But I don't see how you can go wrong with these Squiers. One thing though, if you're gonna buy it, I would suggest looking at it thoroughly. Make sure, you know, like I said, I've had an issue with other ones with where the pocket and the neck are kind of crooked. It still played really well, but you could see some wood sticking out of there, which was just basically unsightly. That's about it. But this one's perfect. So anyway, I'm gonna take this out and see what you're getting under there, and then we'll go from there. So in here we see the mini pots, and then we see this modern style switch. Some people don't like this. I have never had a problem with this kind. Matter of fact, the only switches that I've had problems with are the supposedly the better quality ones, the vintage ones. I have several guitars with this kind of switch and never had a problem. These pots, actually they feel pretty nice. There's slight resistance, but just enough. Some of the pots that are like the CTS pots will slide up a little bit less resistance. So that's the only difference that I can see. Let's see. Other than that, that soldering job looks pretty good. So neat wiring. It's pretty much standard. 3-way switch. That's it. So when you get one, what can you expect? Well, you can expect to either have yourself set it up or have somebody set it up for you. It is playable right out of the box. When I got it, it was still playable, but now that I've gone through and adjusted the nut and adjusted the saddles, and I even smoothed out the edges of the frets. Now it really plays really well. So as far as how it sounds great. And if you are a beginner, it will sound great, and if you are an advanced player, it will sound really great. So I'm not a big fan of the YouTube sound test because I don't think you get anything out of it other than how the guy that's playing it sounds like, and through his amp and through his microphones, and I don't think you really get anything out of it. So go out and play one, and if you like it, then buy it. So there it is. Again, this is a 2005, and again, the highlights are just the neck. It just feels great. You get some decent pickups. Everything for $120. Great guitar. One thing I will do is polish these frets out. You can see I've polished that one. You can really tell they get all grimy. So for that, I made this little piece of aluminum from a beer can, and I just use a razor blade and cut a stencil out. Then I'll put it right there, and then just take some steel wool and clean it off. One thing, if you do use steel wool, which I like to, even though it's messy, you got to either cover your pickups or just take the neck off, because all the filings will wind up stuck to your pickups, and that's bad. So you can also use really fine sandpaper. Either way, I like to either take the neck off or completely cover your guitar with a bag or with some paper or something that's gonna shield it from these debris. So I'll just stick that on there, clean it up, and move all the way up and get all the frets nice and shiny.